What's good, everyone? I'm Brian Sampson from Dunking with Wolves, and today I'm coming at you with a video breakdown about the Minnesota Timberwolves' final after timeout sideline out of bounds play against the Atlanta Hawks that failed miserably. Let's take a look at what went so wrong for Minnesota. Before we begin with the play, let's take a look at what set up the confusion. Before the timeout, Taj Gibson secured the defensive rebound and Tom Thibodeau called a timeout with 14.5 seconds remaining. And since the Timberwolves didn't advance the ball, that means Minnesota will get the ball on their side of half court. As the players are headed to the bench for direction, Thibodeau can be seen talking to an official and apparently is confused or unhappy about something. After we get this unfortunate replay of Teague's horrible, no good, awful pass, we get a view of the bench and Thibs drawing up a play, and this is where the confusion begins. You can see there are only 4 guys there sitting on the bench, with Crawford standing off to the side and Gibson on the media panel. As Thibs is drawing up his play, it's unclear exactly how much attention Gibson is paying, and ultimately that's going to be important because he gets thrown into the play. Crawford then looks as if he's trying to figure out his position in the play, and Gibson even walks away for a few moments. Crawford then heads over, pulls off his warm-up, and looks as if he's preparing to enter the game. Then, when he's about to actually enter the floor, the coaches call for Gibson, who is sitting down, and tell him he's in the play. You'll see Gibson even needs some last-minute input from the coaches to ensure he's on the same page with the rest of his teammates. It really is not the best look for a team, a veteran team and a veteran coach, and it doesn't play out well on the court as we'll see here. They also made a couple of comments on the broadcast about how Gibson didn't know that he was in the play. Just not a good look all around for Minnesota. There are many issues with this play, so let's go through them one by one. The first issue is that Thibs chose Jeff Teague to inbound the ball. It's typically a risk to have your shortest player inbound the ball with no timeouts because he can't see over the defense if he gets in trouble. Add in the fact that Schroeder, who's guarding the inbounder, has a huge 6'7" wingspan, and it makes it even more difficult. As soon as the ball is given to Teague, the mishaps begin to happen. Taj tries to screen for Butler, but Butler is clearly looking at Wiggins and even tries to point to Wiggins as if Gibson is supposed to screen Wiggins' man. This ultimately renders Gibson obsolete in this play. As Wiggins continues across the court, I'm unsure if he's actually supposed to set a screen on Towns' man or just rub off him. Regardless, he heads to the corner as the defender then denies the pass and renders him obsolete as well. Then comes the main option on the play, Jimmy Butler. It looks as if he's supposed to come off a screen from Towns, but Towns gives a poor effort at setting the screen and barely gets his hip on Butler's defender. This allows Jimmy's man to stay closely connected to him and deny the pass from Teague. Even if he was open, Teague would have a difficult time making a successful pass over Schroeder. It's clear Teague is supposed to wait for Butler and this action to happen, as that's the main target. But given how long it took for Butler's movement to develop, it leaves the Timberwolves hanging when he's not open. In a perfect world, Towns would immediately pop to the ball after setting the screen, giving Teague that outlet. But he's very slow to react, and even if he did react immediately, the Timberwolves were probably out of time at that point anyways. When no one is open, Teague panics and mistakenly tries to call for a timeout. Luckily, the officials didn't see it or grant it, but Minnesota still called for a 5-second violation and a turnover. Overall, it's a very disappointing sequence of events for everyone involved. Hopefully they can learn from this and make improvements for next time. Thank you all for checking out my video. I'd appreciate it if you'd give it a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. For all Timberwolves related content, you can follow me on Twitter at BrianSampsonNBA. Catch you next time, Wolves fans.